nightgown given to her by our mother the Christmas before. Marion, born 6th and 17, also in a Lance nightgown, an expectant look on her face, as if our mother had not died, as if she were in the room with us, about to say one of those things she'd say that would send all of us off into gales of laughter. Peel me a grape, when someone asked her to do something he could perfectly well do himself. For a few years she'd been ordering 7 nightgowns, keeping one, sending one to each of her 6 daughters. She loved inventing traditions. Identical Easter dresses when we were just 3 girls, identical yellow terry cloth bathrobes when we were 6 children, for all of us, even herself and our father. Pop arranged us on the porch one summer afternoon, Mom with Marion, then a baby, on her lap, set the camera on a chair, ran back around to join us before the minute was up. It is January 1970, and she's been to Boston to visit her mother, bedridden and now living in an apartment high above the public garden. Not as difficult as usual, she was thinking, her mother, now almost 80. Not quite as dangerous now that the drugs controlled the mania that once had her calling everyone on the eastern seaboard, giving lobster dinners for 30 in the Tremont Street high-rise 2-bedroom, the depression that turned her silent and monosyllabic for weeks at a time. Just 2 hours with her mother, lunch with her mother's lawyer, a visit with her second daughter, who is in her 2nd year at Radcliffe. On the Eastern shuttle home to Washington, she runs into an old friend from Boston. She's known Bob Amory forever, though not well. The odd dinner party, the years in Washington. In the past, debutante parties and the like, long ago. Those miscellaneous Boston weekends during the war. At the baggage claim, he offers her a lift from the airport, and she hesitates. She'd looked forward to the taxi, a half hour of calm before she found herself back in her life with her children, her husband. But why refuse, really? Whenever she's outside time like this, quiet and freedom of mind seem inexhaustible, and that's what she wants now, freedom of mind. But she doesn't want to be rude, and so she accepts. It's afternoon. Sun glistens off the Potomac, gleams through the trees in Rock Creek Park. And it's January. She still can't get over the climate here, so beneficent, almost tender. They drive up Massachusetts Avenue past the embassies. Talk of Boston, of this one and that one. There are still so many Boston people in Washington, Harvard types she knew so well, who'd come here to work in the Kennedy administration, mutual friends whose families go back in New England history, as hers does, and his. Now they are on the quiet street, and she will be home in minutes, the children rushing to the door when they hear the jangle of the gold bangles on her arm, a gift from her husband each time she has a child. She is relishing this evening, this city she has so loved, where they have lived for 6 years, where she has had the luxury of time with her children, where, all the children now in school or moved out, she has come into the beginnings of a new singular self. Though she doesn't want to be corny, that's really how she thinks of it. 1 book published, a new one underway. She'd even tried to talk to her mother about it, the book on aging. But her mother, hair dyed light brown, expertly made up even to spend the day in bed. It was that or a wheelchair, was in one of her silent periods and had just looked at her. Hello, Mama. Hello, Jenny. Now Bob pauses the VW at a stop sign. And then they are in the intersection, and from nowhere there's a jolt, a sudden crashing swerve. She is thrown forward. When her eyes open, she is still sitting there in the passenger seat of Bob Amory's Volkswagen Beetle. Something has hit them, but he is still there too, the back and forth light falling back to stillness, but not the same stillness. A car hit them, and Bob can't open the driver's door. She too is unharmed, she realizes, though she was pitched forward, felt something like a fist in her stomach. But it was nothing, thank God. She was not wearing a seatbelt, and the car that hit them had run the stop sign, she now realizes. It was invisible until it hit them. Hard to believe still that Bob was unhurt, and she, well, it must have been the gear shift stick. She feels its mark there, an